welcome to a new tutorial. This is what we are going to create. You can see it's a letter A, but it's being surrounded by quite a few lines, and all of this is created with 3D stroke from Trapdcode. So if you don't have it, go to their website and download this plugin, because it's going to be very useful for this and for any other projects on After Effects. So you can see how it looks. It's quite a few lines of different colors and a few spheres going around, everything with the shape of an A. So let's go to After Effects and create a new composition. We can create it of 800 pixels, and we can make this, let's try 10 seconds for now. We're going to probably trim it later. And we have this composition now. Now to do this, to create this tutorial, we're going to use this vector file that of course I'm going to share with you. You can see it's a letter A, and it's made up of a double stroke. You can see that we have this and we have this other wider A. So we created this double stroke for each part. So we're going to take this, we're going to copy this with Ctrl and C, and we're going to jump to After Effects and create a new solid. You can make it any color that you want and paste it here, and you can see that we have created some mask into this composition. We have 4 masks. If you go here to mask, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and each one represents one part of the A. For example, this blue one is this outer stroke from here, and the same applies for all of them. So we can play around with this. I'm going to change the location of this. I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to call this 1. This will be 2, 3, and 4. So 1 is the one that is blue in my case. Yours is probably a different color, so don't pay attention to the color. Just keep in mind that it's the one which is outside of the A. So I have this, and we can take, pay no attention to the mask right now. We can take this solid and we're going to rename this as 1. And now, taking this layer, I'm going to choose an effect called 3D stroke. Now you will find this with the 3D stroke. Right now it's not doing anything. You have probably worked with 3D stroke before, because it's quite a popular effect. But if you, for example, you animate the end and the start, you can create stuff like this. For example, you can create 2 keyframes here and set this to 0 and this one to 100, and you will have this animation. It will be completing all the way to this point. Now this is not what we are going to do right now. What we are going to do is to go to 3D stroke and uncheck where it says use all path, and for now on path let's take 1. 1 is the one outside, is the first mask. So with this, if we select another one, you can see that it goes to create the stroke on that mask. So in this case I'm going to choose 1. Alright, now with this selected, I'm going to change the start location to 90 and leave the end to 100. So right now it's not doing anything, of course, but we're going to play around with the offset. We're going to click here on offset, on the stopwatch on offset. I'm going to open this, and now I'm going to the 3rd second, and I'm going to set the offset to 100. Now what this does is to create this animation, which is not too much, but if we click here on loop, what this does is to create this animation. You can see that this 3D stroke goes all the way from this point, travels around the A letter and ends here. So this is exactly what I want to do, but I want to add one more round, so I'm going to move to the 6th second and I'm going to change this to 200 so that it goes one more round. And it will stop right here. Alright, so with this selected, on 6 second, I'm going to press N and I'm going to trim this so that it's seamless. You can see that now the animation will go on forever and ever and it won't ever stop. So that's exactly what I want to create. Alright, now I have the first animation, but I want to change the thickness because right now it's too thick. You can see it. You can see how cool it looks right here. It's very thin lines, so I'm going to change this probably to 5. Yeah, 5 is enough. And I like this animation a lot. Alright, we have the first and probably the most difficult one because it's the one that we are going to play around with the offset and everything. So what I'm going to do now is to add a duplicate of this 3D stroke. Just click here and press Ctrl and D and you will have a duplicate. So we have 3D stroke and 3D stroke 2. Now for 3D stroke 2, I'm going to take the path and instead of selecting 1, I'm going to select 2. You can see how now it's playing around with the second mask. Now you can see that the other line disappeared. So we need to change that by going to transfer mode and select overlay. Now we can see them both. Alright, we have 3D stroke 2 and it's looking fine. Okay, but I want to change something. I'm going to move to here to the 3D stroke 2 and I want this line to be slower than the first one because right now they are going to in the same pace. I want it to be slower, so what I have to do is just take this middle keyframe off and set this one to 100. So now you can see that it's slower because it's going to take more time to get from this point to this point. And the first one is just taking 3 seconds while the second one is taking 6 seconds. Alright, now let's play around some more. Let's change the color. I want to use a blue tone like this and I'm going to change the thickness to probably 3. Let's see how it looks. Alright, I like this. Now it's time to create yet another duplicate of the 3D stroke, and this time I'm going to select path number 3, which is this one right here. I'm going to change the color to white. The thickness I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to probably leave it just like this. Yeah, like this is fine. And now just create one more duplicate, which is going to be called, of course, 3D stroke 4, and choose the 4th path. Now you can leave this color, and I'm actually going to add one more keyframe for the offset on the 3rd second. and I'm going to change this to 100 and this one to 200 so that it's faster. Now you can see that it's looking pretty cool right now. We're starting to see the shape of the A, which is the main idea for this tutorial. Alright, we have this. Now with this we have the first layer with 4 3D strokes, right? So I want to create more lines into this mask. You can see that here every line has like 2 different lines going around the same path. So to create that, I'm just going to duplicate this first layer, and you can see that it's automatically renamed as 2, so it's pretty convenient. Now just let's delete these 3D strokes, leave just one, and here's what we're going to do. Right now everything is going on the same place. You can see that they all start on one point, and if you take a look at the path of the mask path, you can see that we have some circles in it. For example, for this blue path we have one big circle here, we have one here for the pink one for the brown, and one for this gold path. So this means that this is the first vertex, and that's why this animation begins right here. You can see that this one begins right here, this one here, and this one here. Everything starts from the first vertex. So if I want to create a nice animation where we create some more lines and from different places, all we have to do is to change the first vertex. For example, I'm going to move here and I'm going to click on the pen tool, and for example, let's begin with the first mask. Let's go with the first mask, and I'm going to change the first vertex. I'm going to change it to this one. So I'm going to click here, or if it's giving you some trouble, just click here and right click on it, go to mask and shape path and select this set first vertex. Now the first vertex will be this one. So if you play this animation, you can see that we have now 2 lines going around. Alright, now let's repeat the same for every mask. For example, for the brown, I'm going to select this point. If you are not able to touch the path itself, just double click on the path and go here until you are able, and select the first vertex will be this. For the pink one, we can make this one the first vertex, and for the gold one we can make this one the first vertex. So now let's go to the main comp, and right now we are not looking at anything because we have only one 3D stroke, so we need to change that. Let's create a duplicate here and select the second path. Change this to overlay and change the color. Let's go again and select our main color, our blue color. Copy this and copy it here. You can see that we have 2 lines. Of course, we need to change this. Alright, we have 2 lines here. and even with different thickness, which is pretty cool. Maybe for the first stroke we can change the thickness to 3. Alright, now create one more stroke, set it to white, and change the path to 3. And we will have this. Now in this case we can alter the start for the 3D stroke. You can see it's right here, the pink one. We can change the start here and the line will be longer. We can set it to 75 and now the line is longer, which is pretty cool. Alright, now we're done with this second one. Now it's time to create yet another duplicate, the third one, and I'm going to solo this and I'm going to move here for the mask. And I'm going to change the first vertex. For example, on the blue one, I want this to start over here on the top. For the brown one, right now it's here, so we can set it to this point. For the pink one, we may leave it over here. And for the final one, we can set it here. Alright, let's go to the main comp. Let's see what we get. We have 3 lines. We should create another duplicate here and change this to path 4. Alright, let's set it here and see what we got. Alright. Now we have a problem here because this offset is too fast, so I'm going to move here on the 4th stroke and add one more here. And this will be 200. Now everything looks pretty cool. So we're done with the lines, and now it's time to add some spheres, and it's pretty simple. Just go to layer, create shape layer, and just create a very small circle like this. Oh, I created a rectangle. Create a circle just like this one. Alright, now open the position for this shape. We can call this circle. Now I'm going to open one of these masks. For example, I'm going to take the first mask and I'm going to click on mask path for this, the blue one, I'm going to click here and I'm going to press Ctrl and C to copy, and I'm going to move to the position, and I'm going to select to paste it with Ctrl and B like this. So this will create a motion path for the circle basing on the mask, the shape of the mask. Alright, so the problem we have here is because if you take a look at the circle, you can see that the anchor point is here. So we need to first change this with the pan tool, with the pan behind tool, and place this anchor point on the middle, and then change, paste the path into the position. Copy this, place the position, and now it will move along the A. Now you can see that it's actually really fast, so what we need to do is to change this, move this last keyframe to the 6th second, and now it will be okay. Alright, now all we have to do is to create one duplicate, open the position, and now instead of selecting this mask path for the third one, let's choose the second one and the first mask. Copy this, go to position, and paste this. Of course, delete everything first and paste this. Move it to the 6th second, and you will have now 2 circles going around. Now let's create one final duplicate. Open the position, delete everything, go to layer 1, open your first mask, copy mask path, and place it here. Now move this keyframe to the 6th second, and we have now 3 circles going around, and the lines are going to draw the letter A. Pretty cool, right? So now to finish this, all we have to do to make it look cooler, grab everything, click on pre-compose. You can call this animation or whatever name you want, and we're going to create a new layer, create a solid layer, and let's choose, we can use this blue, very dark blue. Click OK, paste it here, and now it looks better now. So you can see that we created a line animation, and the best thing is that it's pretty seamless, so it never ends because we work with 3 and 6 seconds, so it really never ends because of the offset. So we created the letter A with this 3D stroke, which is one of my favorite effects on After Effects, because we can create tons of things that you can't even imagine how many things we can create with 3D stroke. We can create smoke trails, we can create ink trails, or anything with this single effect. So it's pretty cool. In this case, we created a letter A. You can create anything. You can use this to create, for example, an intro for your personal logo, or maybe you want to create the whole letters A, B, C, D, E, and so on. Or maybe you can just draw anything, any shape that you want, because it works with the vector file. So just go to Illustrator and create any vector that you want and bring it here to After Effects, and you can create an animation like this. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. It's very fun to create. It's a very cool effect and fun to create. So if you have any comments, or if you have any doubt on how to use the effect, anything that you didn't quite understand, please go to the discussion board, and I'm going to be very happy to help you with that. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you on another tutorial.